So I thought we'd change it up a little bit with the videos and do a breakdown of a vibration shimmy. So I've seen a vibration shimmy labeled for a couple different shimmies, but in my experience, I feel the one that most people relate vibration shimmy to is when they have this literal vibration through their body as the shimmy. And it's done mainly with contraction of muscles and also small range of movement. So, what we're going to essentially do is we're going to take our knee shimmy, which, as you know, you go front and back like this into your straight leg position, right? And you can see how I have a pretty wide range of motion in order to get my hips to move. And when I do it like this, it's looser up here. If I go faster, then you'll see that it's much looser up here. Yeah, and I'll let you see from the back. And I want you to pay attention to the fringe that is showing on the hip scarf. So I say this for a reason, because when you shimmy, sometimes you're like, am I doing it right? Am I doing it right? And one of the things that you can do is actually look at your clothing and see if it's rippling the energy in your body the way it typically would for the move you're trying to go for. So if I'm doing knee shimmy, then I want it really big and I want it really loose. So you can see my fringe is going all crazy, right? So we want to go for the vibration shimmy. So what essentially we're going to do is we're going to take that knee shimmy and we're going to and contract it in and make it really small and really tight. So I've seen it done with alternate knee bending and back and forth like this, where you have one and then the other, but that's really tiny. And then I've seen it done with both knees bending and straightening at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna go over both. So you're gonna place your body in the same position you would for a knee shimmy, right? And you're gonna have your weight over your heels and the arch of your feet. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend and straighten our legs, but we're gonna minimize that range of motion as much as you can, but still keeping a movement going. So the thing that I've noticed when we try and do one shimmy or the other is how much muscle engagement is involved when you do this shimmy versus knee shimmy. And the reason I'm comparing it so much against that one is because a lot of the time I see people try and do knee shimmy, but it ends up as a vibration shimmy because they're not keeping their glutes loose. They're not keeping their thighs loose and engaging the thighs just enough to bring the knees and the legs back and forth, right? So what ends up happening, and they start to do this, and you have this like lockout feature that's happening on your leg. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna narrow that motion, like I was talking about, into the your knees and narrow it, but now I want you to constrict your thigh muscles a little bit and even tighten how much range of motion you have in your knees going back and forth. So maybe before, even when you were reducing it, you were right here, but when you tighten, you'll notice that it'll get even smaller. So we're going for this vibration, which is like this versus like that, right? So again, your knees are over your weight is over your heels in the arch. You're going to bend your knees and straighten them back and forth, boom, 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 boom. And then what you're going to do is you're going to contract your thighs. So as you do that and still trying to keep the knees alternating back and forth like this, you'll get this vibration. Now, remember when I told you that I want you to pay attention to your hip scarf? Watch it now as you do the vibration shimmy. What ends up happening is you see your hip scarf start to vibrate versus it being really loose and just shaking. So you see this new transference of energy start to happen. So now, as you're going back and forth with your knees and you're contracting really tight, you'll see that the shimmy will start to vibrate up the body, which is what you want essentially, right? You want this beautiful, even distribution of vibration throughout your body. So now we have it going back and forth, right? One knee bending and straightening at a time versus the other. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take both knees and bend them together and straighten at the same time. So you will feel like when you do this in slow motion that you have this like little hop, like beep, 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 like this. But like I said before, you're gonna really narrow that range of motion down so it doesn't feel like you're doing this huge earthquake shimmy and you're getting it all the way through the top of your body. So when we do this, now you're gonna bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight, bend straight right here, and then you're gonna start to tighten the muscle in your quads around your knee, and then you'll get into this motion. Okay, so some people have it easier one way or another. It just depends on what's easier for you, but I've seen them done both ways by numerous teachers and numerous students. So I'm gonna do both knees now, and you should notice that the vibration, see the fringe? Yeah, look at your hip scarf too. You'll see that there's like a massage chair, right? And your weight is still over your heels and the arch of your feet, and I'm contracting and I'm getting this going. Now, the point is for you to still be able to do this, but be able to move back and forth. If you are completely locked out of all of your movement, it's not going to help, because then you'll be like, well, I can only do a vibration shimmy and that's it, right? So you want to be able to contract enough and get that tightness in the shimmy that causes that vibration, that constricted movement, but you still need to be able to layer other movement on top. So you're going to have to work with it and see if it's better for you to alternate your knees back and forth, or to do both at the same time. And they both kind of feel different too, right, in execution. So right now I'm doing both at the same time. So let's together slide with this vibration shimmy. 5, 6, 7 to your left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 front and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and alternate the knees. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, front, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. 1, 2, 1, 2, down by the side. So as you're going through this, it really should be a tighter shimmy. It should feel like you're contracting your muscles throughout your legs. Some people use their glutes, some people don't. For me, I don't contract my glutes unless it's just a little bit here from contracting my thigh, but I'm not particularly like squeezing my glutes to get the movement, because if I need to do like some other movement on top, I don't want my glutes to be in the way if I don't need them for the vibration shimmy. Does that make sense? So as you're drilling through this, take it slow. Take your knee shimmy and then half the range of motion, so it's really, really small, and then start to squeeze your thigh muscles around it, and then slowly increase the tempo, and that's how you'll get it up to shimmy speed. Yeah, so let's drill this together a little bit. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to knee shimmy, then we're gonna go to vibration shimmy, then you're gonna go to knee shimmy, vibration, and we're gonna bounce back and forth so you can really get the difference between the two. Okay, so we're gonna have knee shimmy. Okay, so we're gonna go 4 counts each. 5, 6, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, vibration. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, vibration. 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2. Look down if you need. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Thanks so much for checking out the vibration shimmy. I hope that you get a chance to practice between the knee shimmy and the vibration shimmy, and that you feel the difference between the two so you can start to master them even more. Thank you so much for also being a subscriber to my channel. If you're not, you want to make sure that you click on the bell below, and I do online belly dance classes. Woo, 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 woo. So if you want to check them out, check out the description. Thanks so much, and see you next time.